Blessings. Welcome forward to Reasoning right here at the Tree of Life. I'm your host, Jerome Sage Butler. And this wonderful day, I find myself, at the river, right? River Temple, right? And there's a lots of things that are happening currently within the earth plane, and a lot of it is disheartening, and a lot of people's got strong opinions about what's going on. And naturally, because our channel has been about like information, Sila Media, with Raman, and here with myself, we're still about information that is palatable, applicable to the understanding of what we're going through currently, as spiritual beings, in this day and age, in this point in time, on this space-time continuum. First, I want to make it clear. My experiences and the kind of opinions and philosophical dichotomy they create on life is unique to my experience, though it is also possible to find correlation with what I'm saying in the experiences of others, that there is this cosmic wholeness to what ultimate truth is. So the multiform experiences that we have still take us back to the singular truth of all existence. All truth in our reality is in Yahuwah, and as such, when we are implored to enter through Christ into the kingdom of Yahuwah, we are at the highest resonation of our energy, of our being. And as such, each person's journey ultimately as the individual informs the collective, because we all draw from the collective unconscious as well as the collective conscious. And this is states of archetypal awareness, psychic states that have been with us as the human exploration, observation, and experience has been documented in our genetics, in our very fabric of being. So as we interweave these experiences through the now age, we search, we find the correlation of this oneness of spirit, purpose, and being. Religion doesn't change that. Spiritual practices doesn't change that. It is ultimately the same. The truth of it is, those who are just, moral, congruent with the divine nature will have manifestations such the like. Those who are out of sync and tending on to their own existential self premises will always have those end results. It is true to how we apply the divine sources. So I'm saying that as my preamble to say this. And bear with me, those of you who are obviously following in good conscience. There are people who are mentally disturbed who make great pronouncements upon these platforms. People follow them, people believe in a lot of what they say because they have some form of experience through the systematic ways they have been engaged over their lives. Some are parts of clandestine organizations. They were parts of clandestine organizations. Some did some very malevolent things as a part of what they call their career. It's my job. And as such, when these people begin to break apart in their conscience for what they have been doing goes contrary to the very essence of nature, they begin to spill. And they spill all these toxins over onto us as people who have not engaged nor have ever been in such a position as they have. I'll explain more deeply. Follow me. Most individuals in the true context of cattle and sheep have been the victims of a lot of the persecution of these sacred, secret, hidden motives and organizations. They are preserved in the deepest echelons of our society. And when individuals were caught up in this because they believed that this was the way of life, that was the best way to actualize themselves, they joined these organizations. They did crazy stuff. They did some crazy shit. And so now, they're taking all of their hysteria, their fears of what they know over unto us who do not know these things. So that burden of conscience should not be upon us. We have not engaged in such clandestine activities, whether state or sub-state or deep state or whatever they love to say. Or these organizations that are so-called multilaterals or hidden organizations that have subversive motives. And these individuals, they make pronouncements on these channels, on these networks, and they get a lot of people afraid because they have correlations to what they're saying. My point to you is, have you and I ever had such an intense experience within these contexts? How many of us have had these experiences that we should be following their doomsday blue book? I hope you heard me. Because some people will say, oh, what is Jerome saying? I'm back, I've not gone. People think I've become silent. Whoa, no, I've not become silent. I'm still here. So, these individuals, they have an agenda. They want to capture people's attention for their global ideologies. And these ideologies are already skewed because they were part of these clandestine groups in the first place. Don't take their information that seriously, because they're threatening your very lives. You and I are not aware of the complexities of these clandestine moves, these secret movements. And as such, we should not be willy-nilly exposed to another person's activities as if it is our own. They know what they have done to run amok within their own clandestine groupings. And sometimes the reason why they're spilling is not because they're so ethical or moral, or it's not because they've seen the error of their ways, but rather they have erred with their brothers. And their brothers have found out that they are without merit. And even though these organizations are secret and clandestine, they still have a foundation of ethics and moral. And immoral and unethical people who are not rooted in truth should never be the people who lead our conscious awareness. We should be very, very aware of this. And not just because somebody's expressing in a modus that you understand. Oh, he's conspiracy theorist, he's been in this, he's been in the military, he's been in this force, he's been there, he's been, in public service, he's been in politics, so therefore you should know. Really? Really? You and I should be led by the spirit of truth, not appearance, but truth. Truth is skewed in every organization it enters into because they assume themselves the truth. It becomes compartmentalized. And hence why you should never just accept their information, because it is compartmentalized. There's always stuff that they never want to tell you. And that is why you should be aware. Those of us who are called by the Spirit, there's protection. This is not some willy-nilly ideology. So let's examine the essence of what protection is in the idea then of an absolute authoritarian state. Because there have been absolute authoritarian states before. But let's look at it in the context of what protection would be in an absolutely authoritative state, that the human life is controlled, let's say as the Bible says, cannot buy ourselves without the mark. In such a context, right, in an absolutely authoritarian state, first of all, each individual would have to, of their own choice, their free will, accept to be a part of that system. Else it will have spiritual imbalances that will make it almost impossible for it to be established. So make no guesses about it. If you are a part of the system in the end times, you chose to be. You did not accidentally fall into a trap set by the system. You chose to be. So those who chose against the word of the Lord, who told us, come out of her, my people, yet you associated with her. And then when you have run amok in her, you're trying to tell believers how we should act in the light of your debauchery, in the light of your mockery. We are led by the Spirit of the immortal presence. The Lord said he would pour out his Spirit upon flesh in these times. That means some of our brothers and our sisters will have a more enlightened presence of understanding in the awareness. So these mentally disturbed individuals who can no longer hold their peace because they have no place in what they were established in. They're trying to come on our plane and our reality and try to tell us how we should be. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Oh no. No, no, no. Oh no, 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 no. You have another set of people. They troll people's channels. They say their information is qualitative and is the truth. Brother, deranged brother or sister, present your information for the nations, for the peoples to examine its plausibility, its palatability, its truth. Do not come into the purview of individuals such as myself and then try to promote your narcissistic, psychopathic behaviors on my stream, on my channel, on my inbox. I will not have it. And I get it. Public characters, because I guess that's what I've become in this new age. We are subject to these sorts of examinations by people because they say it's only fear. I would like to say to you who say such things, can we please fit cameras in your homes and see what you do? Since you want to see what Jerome Butler does beyond my coming on these channels, you want to watch me 24/7? Put cameras in your home so we can also watch you 24/7. Mr. and Mr. Clandestine, who is so steep in absolute knowing of truth, please tell us, what should we do to please you? Because obviously we are lacking in the sufficiency that you obviously so abundantly possess. So please, share with us your brilliance. My sisters, my brothers, I know they have got some things shifting with us. We cannot say we're not affected, but we should not be afflicted. Afflicted, you know, it's when it's out of control. It's burned down so deeply you can barely function. Affect is just, you know, because you're in it. It might not be your way of thinking, but your brother, your cousin, they're affected by it. That energy is still around you. Peace, peace, peace that surpasseth human understanding. You gotta dig deeper. And if you are not faith-based, I gotta say to you, faith isn't just a construction of religious thinkers. It's a process of what the astral planes are about. So we wanna get deeper in other videos about the human entity, the human being. So we're gonna do a couple of these short videos and we're gonna get into the essence of the human entity and the human being. So this video was just really about talking about the derangement of personalities who then try to afflict people who present palatable information that allows the individual to discern through the right application of their thought processes, to discern truth, to make the evidence speak clearly unto their own awarenesses, so they can be aware and not act on other people's perceptions, or worse, other people's derangement of perception. Many people, as I said many times before, are linked in these organizations. People hear me putting out music and they're listening, but I want you to hear me, not hear with a preconceived notion what is espoused clearly. Hear me clearly. Therefore, you have to hear yourself clearly. You have to discern the cosmos clearly. This is no clandestine hidden motive. Look for yourself. Feel the 432 for yourself. Feel the 963 hertz for yourself, or hearts for yourself. Feel the 528 hertz for yourself, 7.83 megahertz for yourself. Feel the vibration of your inner expressive beingness as the outer reverberation what the inner is all about. So when we talk about, let's say, the physical man, the physical entity, the physical being, the word physical is coming from physics, which relates to energy and vibration. So when we talk about 432 frequencies or 432 megahertz or megahertz, we're talking about the natural vibrational frequency that is the essence of what life is. It is why there is a compression and a polar opposite of energies. So when people talk about so-called gravitational issues, but yet still gravity is supposed to hold you down, then the equal and opposite is supposed to be true. So they say out in space, you're floating off. But have we seen that to be the truth? What we see to be the truth is that the buoyancy or the force that pushes upwards and objects in the energy field is equal and opposite to the force that pushes downwards. And through this upwards and downward motion, that is what you call movement, the bipedal that propels man. It's a magnetic spectrum, is what physics is all about. It is charge and spin. It is energy at the very essence and core. So while we think we are these congealed forms, we are really vibrating energy frequencies. And that's what the whole physical entity is about. It is all spirit, it is all energy. So as we are all energy and energy frequencies, right? The outer bands of our consciousness, the outer forms that we call the slower vibrating, the carnal man, should never be the leading principle, practice, premise, or way of being. It should be a reflection, a manifestation of the inner cordiality, the inner concordance. We are energy. We are motions. We are emotions, moods. The constant motion, the constancy, that's what life is. It's eternal movement, being. It's activity. It is sound and silence harmonized. It is both. It is the equal and opposite entangled reactions of all things. They do not happen outside, they happen within. Because within is without. So there's no out and there's no in. Experience and observer are one. However, as how we interpret these things according to our religious modus gives us a unique view of the one, because it's a multiform coming from the singular. So before you jump off to think again, I'm saying it is a one world structure, a one world religion, or one world government. Absolutely not. The world needs not a one world structure. The world needs not a one world government, because the world already has a unified spiritual divine government, which already is the cosmos. It is Kadmun and Nikibu. It is the very laws of who we are. And as such, we need not create a new system, because the old system is the only way things are. And there's people who said it's time for alternative lifestyles. Alternative lifestyles are only aberration of the experience of the current lifestyle. There is no alternative lifestyle. They are not sacrosanct. They are not holy and eternal. They are aberration of what is Nikibu and Kadmun, of what is male and female. 9, 6, and 3. It is the vortex of our being. Let no man mislead you to distract you from your presence of being. Humility is one of the most important things. To truly master the higher self, you have to first be the lower self. So those who say, I will never be cattle, or I am not sheep. Being sheep and cattle has been journeys in the soul expression to become lion, conquering lion, to be free, to be the divine logos, to be purposeful in Yahuwah, to be divine and present. Choose for yourself based upon the living cosmos. Discern by being aware. Awake your senses to the true nature of your being, and then no one can think your reality for you. Because what is real is already real. Reality, abstractions thereof, opinions. Because this makes no sense unless it is sensitive and sensible to your experience. That is why there are levels to this, brothers and sisters. Do not blow your brothers and sisters' chip by your egotistical malevolence, misaligned perception, and misguided nature. Some people do want to help. That's why they do these videos. But at the same time, many of us were never exposed to such clandestine activities. You should be cautious, and you should be seeking to learn from us of how we have survived the activities that you were once a part of, or probably still a part of. So we should be the ones to impart the spirit to you, and not you imparting the spirit of fear to us. This has been Jerome Sage Butler. Reasonings right here at the Tree of Life. I'm at the river, you know, just in my backyard, giving thanks and praise to Yeshua, the loving Christ, the divine creator Yahuwah, right? For all Moabite empires, right? Moab, for all of us who truly sculpt the true nature of existence from what is actual. To all my Tree of Lifers out there, love and blessings. Until next time, like, share, subscribe. Be aware in the now.